We continue with our Davos coverage. President Cyril Ramaphosa and a contingent of business leaders are heading to the World Economic Forum's annual meeting. It's taking place in Davos, Switzerland. Let's get a sense of what is happening in the Alps. eNCA's Annika Larsen joins us live from Davos. Good evening, Annika. Tell us, how is Team South Africa doing? Are their spirits high? Are they looking forward to what they have said is going to be a successful bid?
I think they're far more buoyant. This delegation has been led by President Ramaphosa. There are 50 other members of that delegation, including the Finance Minister, Tito Mboweni. We've got the International Relations Minister, Lindiwe Sisulu, Communications Minister, Stella Abrams. We've got Jeff Radebe, Minister of Energy, and Rob Davies, to name but a few. And then, of course, big business from ABSA. We've got Maria Ramos and all the other leaders from Bank, Investec, Old Mutual, etc. The ones I've interviewed so far, who seem to be extremely tired since they've been travelling since last night, as have we, are that they are far more buoyant this year, and so far they've been far better received. In fact, speaking to Jeff Radebe, who's now Minister of Energy, came here last year as Minister in the Office of the Presidency under a very different administration, under the administration of President Jacob Zuma, who was not present. And remember it was this time last year that Pravin Gordhan was only to land and then had to turn back. So a very different atmosphere for Team South Africa this year, and a far more upbeat and buoyant cabinet.
We always hear the term South Africa is open for business. But beyond that, do we know what it is exactly that South Africa will be communicating collectively at that forum, whether it's a business leader, whether it's a government leader, or whether it's civil society? Is there a key message that South Africa, Inc., as represented by the people who are there, will be communicating?
Yes, we want $100 billion by 2023, and we're not going to misspend it, and we're going to use it properly to uplift those in need, to use it for education, for poverty eradication, and infrastructure. And that's what's really the very strong message and non-negotiable message that President Ramaphosa is going to deliver over the next few days along with his team. They've all been very clear that they're going to address the elephant in the room, which is state capture. I'm sure they're going to be asked about the recent Bosasa incident at the state capture inquiry. They're talking about nuclear. We've spoken to Jeff Radebe about that. But, you know, it's not so much about what they tell you in these open forums. It's really, as you know, what goes on behind the scenes. In fact, to my left, if Joe, our cameraman, can just show you, there's a very alpine-looking hotel here where all the ministers are holed up as we speak in that restaurant there, discussing the way forward and how they're going to sell South Africa again to the international community, considering that it's had some bad press lately. Elections are coming up, and they really want to show that economic stability is in the best interests of the country, that it is going to happen, that there are going to be no more ratings downgrades, and that really is an investment hub that is well worth looking at in the age of globalization.
Of course, I mean, knowing what we want to tell the world is one thing, but giving those investors what they want is something else.
And nobody gives anything away for free either, do they? So what conditions will be attached to whatever investment or whatever funding makes its way from that $100 billion plea, 1.2 trillion rand, I think it is, by 2023. Team SA seems to be pretty confident, or Ramaphosa seems to be pretty confident that they're going to get that money from big business, and I think Davos here plays a large role in that. But as I asked Jeff Radebe, the Minister of Energy, is, what about nuclear talks? Is nuclear completely off the table? He said, no, it's about money. I said, has any money been owed to given back to France or Russia because of deals made in the previous administration? He said, no, absolutely not. But we know that there are always conditions attached to every cent or dollar that will come our way.
Okay, that's all going to leave it. Annika, you keep warm there, Annika.